Right, hello. Back again for some more SvelteKit. It's been, well, just over a week, I think, since the last look at this. When was that one? Yeah, about a week ago. So the idea today is to continue on with our mobile app. Let's jump over. So what we did last stream was, we're moving more of our nav bar into its own separate component. We'll have a little look at some of this. I think it's probably just VS Code having a little fit about our code, but yeah, we pushed all of our navbar into its own component. So we've now got this nav list that uses a grid based on how many items in the list. We had a look at our story page, and we added a bit of styling and some images to this. We had a look at our solutions page, and we started doing some image loading and styling on this. We moved our data into a separate folder so that we can update this easily. So if we want to change our layout here, we can, for example, add in, let's just copy and paste this cooling. So if we just add another one in between heating here, and we save it, we get our new cooling and ventilation here that automatically picks our cooling image and adds in a new section with our new text. So that's nice and easy. And yeah, if we look at our, no, it's not sectors, is it? This is in our solution card. This one. So at the moment we're using background URL for our image. But we will be revisiting that, and we're using a before element here, but I feel like there were some issues with the opacity, so we're going to be diving back into images and pictures. I think that's the focus of today. It will be running through some image optimization, lazy loading, all that kind of stuff. I think we're going to start generating some different versions of our images for different device sizes and different browsers. So if we can use WebP or other image types. What else are we going to be looking at? Yeah, we'll probably run through this tutorial, a couple of tutorials here to have a little look at. So yeah, that's going to be the focus of today, but we're going to start off with our usual. We'll just run through a couple of these Wordle clones just as a little warm-up. So we're starting with Diffle, which, if you haven't seen it before, is Wordle but with randomized word lengths as well. So it's not just 5-letter words, it can be any length. So that's the recap over. What word do we want to start with today? What song have we got playing? Optimal sus. Okay, let's go with optimal. Okay, that's a good start. We know we're ending in an L and there's an A somewhere in it. So no T. Thinking like fractal would be good, but keep on thinking of words that have T in it. Something ending CAL. My mind always goes blank with this kind of. What kind of word? Cabal? Doesn't really give us a lot. Gotta be a better word that we can do here. I might just do fractal, even though there's no T. Because I think it gives us a lot of letters. Oh, wow. So the A's before the R. There's no C as well. And oh yeah, we know it's not AL either. So is it UL at the end? What endings could we have with L? EL. We haven't used E yet, so... Nell. Can we end in Nell or Bell? We can have QU as well. Quarrel. Quarrel could work. Ooh, that's good. So we've got we just need a start of the word here. Barrel. There we go. 4 words, 27 letters. That's good. Good start. Okay, let's do the Moviedle next. So this gives us a 1 second summary of the movie in like as many frames. I don't know how many frames they try and fit into that 1 second. And we've got to guess what movie it is from those frames. So it goes very quick, but you get an extra second worth of frames every guess. So I'm normally not great with these ones, but we'll see how this goes. Didn't even catch most of those frames, so let's skip for now. Let's go with signs. I saw some like outdoor, maybe farm area, maybe like a Jeepers Creepers kind of thing, but no idea so far. It looks like it's like a horror. Maybe like a Silence of the Lambs. I feel like I saw... what's the name? I can't remember what the actress's name is, but... yeah, it's not that. That didn't help me at all. I don't know, I feel like I saw a balloon. But it is not on the list. Okay. Something like a... it's not paranormal though. No, I'm going to skip this one. It's a shame you only get one play of it. It makes it very tricky. It's definitely some kind of horror film. I'm just gonna go for it follows, and I don't think it's this, but we need a guess to go on. I don't think we're gonna get it this time. I always find these ones really difficult. What could this be like? No idea. Gonna have to skip. It was Run Rabbit Run. Okay. I feel like a lot of these are films that I don't think I would have ever seen. It doesn't. I was right, it was a horror film. God, it's got pretty awful reviews here. Okay, no worries about that one then. Right, there's a few sinister nodals to do this week. Let's start with the original. So this one we have 5 sets of 4 on this grid that we're trying to match up with as few swaps as possible. So I feel like Ben Affleck, Blind Protagonist, and Devil. We've got Daredevil here. And what else is going to go with it? Probably one of the other actors that I can't think of at the moment. Meryl Streep, persistent fashion. We've got Devil. Okay, so Devil's a cross clue, definitely. Let's move that there, and we'll put Ben Affleck there. So assistant's got a good there. Devil Wears Prada. Private School, Robin Williams. It's gonna be what's it called? Dead Poets, isn't it? Tom Hanks' Death Row. We're probably looking at whatever it's called. Is it Green Mile? Is there a blind? There's no blind protagonist in Green Mile. So whatever this other match is, unless we've got a cross clue here. Assistant? No. Not Genius. Fashion, Meryl Streep. Well, I think Robin... Oh, they should give us a... Oh, that doesn't give us a link. We do have Daredevil with Michael Clark Duncan. I don't know who... Maybe one of the cast. Okay, so... Tom Hanks, Stephen King. No. Robin Williams, Therapy. Private School. Nope. Oh god, we've only got six left. Is Ben Affleck in it? No. Wait. Al Pacino. Scent. Scent is a weird one. I'd imagine Scent and Blind Protagonist have got to be grouped, unless the Devil Wears Prada is the cross clue. Private School, Therapy. Stephen King fit with any of that? No. Okay, Genius Ben Affleck, Therapy. Oh, it is Good Will Hunting. What did I get? Why was I not getting a 3 match before? I'm sure I had Therapy, Genius, and Robin Williams, but maybe I didn't have it in that row. Okay, so here we go. It was Green Mile. Scent of a Woman. Okay, I haven't seen that. Not bad. Okay, we managed it with 1 swap left. Let's do the reversals. So this is the same, but we're given the movie titles this time, and we've got to figure out themes that are shared. Okay. So the Lorax. Water for Elephants, Dumbo. Have we got elephants in 3 of these? Dangerous Liaisons, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Fatal Attraction. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to be a match. Let's put elephants in our row. Horton Hears a Who, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Cat in the Hat. So this has got to be our cross clue. And the Lorax? Dr. Seuss adaptations, okay. So what's going to match with these 3? Maybe Water for Elephants? No. Tarzan, okay. Oh, Glenn Close, okay. Batman, Water for Elephants, The Lighthouse. And apparently Tenet. No idea why. Tim Burton, Beetlejuice, Dumbo, Big Fish, Dark Shadows. I haven't seen either of these 2. And Robert Pattinson. Okay, wouldn't have got lucky that I got the elephants and the Dr. Seuss stuff. Right, logical. So, organise the tiles according to the logic below. Half the grid has starred in a Scorsese directed film. Half the grid in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Some have starred in both, and some have starred in neither. Okay. Column 2 has only male cast members. Column 3 has only has female cast members. Okay. Well, to start with, let's just swap out so that we only have male and female. Okay. Are there any... Yeah, there's a few extras. Okay. Downey Jr. is only adjacent, including diagonally, to other MCU cast members. He is not adjacent to any Scorsese cast members. So where's Downey Jr.? Up here. The moment. 4 cast members for Christopher Nolan directed films are on the same diagonal. 3 cast members from Greta Gerwig directed films are on the same diagonal. Oh, this is going to be tough. All cast members in row 1 have starred in film adaptation of DC comic publications. Okay, so row 1. Am I going to know? Batman's DC. Let's put Patterson up there. De Niro in Batman as well. Joaquin Phoenix is also a Batman in Joker. Well, he's Joker in the Joker. So he's going to be at the top somewhere. And who else has been in DC stuff? Spider-Man's not DC, right? All cast members. DiCaprio is adjacent to all his specific Scorsese film co-stars, including his co-stars in the upcoming Killers of the Flower Moon. No idea about that. So let's put DiCaprio at the bottom. Downey Jr. has to be only adjacent to other MCU cast members. Two cast members who have played Iron Man and Spider-Man in live-action MCU films can be found in corners of the grid. So let's put Downey Jr. in a corner. Because who else here has played Iron Man or Spider-Man? It's only those two, right? They're in corners, right? That's fine. I think I want to put... Wait, I can't put the cast row 1 have starred in film adaptation of DC Comics. I don't know if either of these two have. So I think they've got to be at the bottom. So around Downey Jr., we want MCU members. Let's put Mark Ruffalo over there. Let's put Scarlett Johansson there as well. And around DiCaprio, to his co-stars. I would imagine we're better off putting him here. I mean, we can go for this as a first test. I put Phoenix over De Niro. Let's go for this as a first check. Okay, a few right there. So Downey Jr. is not here, so you got to go to that side. Right. And who can we put here? Ruffalo. And we've got to move Kit Blanche out. Maybe do this. See, we got that right. So Andrew Garfield and Downey Jr. have got to be right this way around. We've got male and female cast members right. There's no actual test of this one, so that means nothing. Downey Jr., 4 cast members. Oh, I haven't done the diagonals. Oh wait, Margot Robbie can't be here either. Let's do like that. It's probably not correct, but we need Ruffalo near Downey Jr., right? So DiCaprio's got to be here or here. We haven't got enough male actors left for the column. Let's try this. Okay, getting better. So wait, if Mark Ruffalo's not here, then how do we get Downey Jr. is only next to MCU cast members. Oh, of course, wait, Margot Robbie's been in. He's Harley Quinn. Of course, she's in DC. She's at the top there. So let's try and get this. And let's put Amy Adams over here. Mark Ruffalo up like that. Let's give this a go. I don't think we got anything more that time. Oh, we got Florence Pugh and Scarlett Johansson. Okay. Amy Adams been in some DC stuff. Let's do that. Oh no, wait. Margot Robbie's starred alongside DiCaprio. Jodie Foster's not in any MC stuff, I think. Let's go for this. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Well, we got there with one check left. Not too bad. Oh, we didn't even use that clue 4. We should have done that. Got a diagonal there. Nice. Not bad. Hey Zimni, how's it going? Hope you're having a good week. Suppose we're only starting on Monday, aren't we? Right, on to, I think that's all the Senator Nerdle stuff. Yeah, they're all done. So we just got the Gamedle stuff, and then we'll get started on SvelteKit stuff. So let's work through from Classic. So the idea here is we'll have a pixelated cover image. You got a few days off work, so there's a lot of Domekeeper. Ah, nice. How's that going? Yeah. Week's going good so far, thank you. I was away most of last week, so haven't been able to stream much or really do much. How's the how the prestige runs going? I assume you're still going for leaderboard stuff. I haven't been able to watch last week, but it seemed like that was the goal. Okay, so this is obviously a Spyro of some kind. No idea what generation we're looking at here, though. It looks fairly... to say fairly... Well, I don't know any of these difference, so let's just go Year of the Dragon. So we're correct Saga. We know that's going to be correct. You got new PB on minor mode. But the progress is slow since scores are almost as high as they can be. There's not been any more updates recently, have there? I feel like there was talk about co-op versions in the mix. I haven't played for ages, actually. I don't think I've played since all the new upgrades that you can get. I need to get back into that at some point. I think from like September, end of September onwards, I'm gonna have more time to get back into the gaming side of things as well. Preparing multiplayer for Gamescom. Ah, I see. Is there gonna be a big event for that? They're gonna push it again. Right, we're looking at Spyro. Let's go for Reignited. There we go. 2018, it is quite modern, quite recently. 46 days till the next LD. That's not a lot of time. Exciting though. You looking forward to it? I think I'm going to try and do something a bit different for this Lunar coming up. I think I might actually just do Well, depending on how confident I'm feeling, I might just make the game as a website. So doing all the SvelteKit stuff I'm doing, use SvelteKit as basically my game engine, and make a game that is just a website. So we'll see how that goes. Oh god, yeah. I mean, to be fair to Mike, have you been on the LD website anytime recently? Because it's actually there's no spam on it. It's like, look, this is, I mean, to be fair, this is only a day and a half ago, but look, it's all about our games. There's no spam anymore. They've actually seems to have fixed the issue. So fair play to them. They have actually done, they've done pretty well with that. But yeah, the next thing is just to make sure things get fixed properly. I mean, the fact that Adam's on this live bit, I'm sure that he's not live at the moment because he's Australia time. There's no way he's going to be online. Yeah. Last broadcast was 5 days ago, so there's definitely something wrong with this this widget. But yeah, other than that, it'd be good if they fix this because this is really good for streamers. Are you tempted to stream any this time? Let's do artwork next and see how that goes. Oh, it's quite a small thing. Yeah, any of the game dev. What's this artwork for? I mean, the fact that there's like a big fire here in the middle is making me think of a From Software kind of game. Let's just go with Elden Ring. Let's see. Oh. I mean, it felt like that kind of game, so good guess with that. Keywords next. Not be able to focus if you do that. Yeah, it's fair enough. It does make it a little bit harder to concentrate. But I feel like it did help hold me a bit more accountable when I was doing the development of it. I'm not sure. I'm still undecided this time. I'm definitely going to stream some of the play rate stuff. But I don't know if I'll actually stream the development side of things. We'll see how I feel at the time. Okay, Bats, Fairy, and Melee. What game could this be? What game are there bats fighting? Bats fighting fairies? I mean, the only thing I'm thinking of is Smash for Melee, but I don't think it's going to be this, but we'll get it as a first attempt. Okay, it's a platformer. Spider Online sequel. What's there's some kind of like DC, Marvel versus DC or something? Marvel versus Capcom maybe? Or yeah, it could be a Batman game. What of these would have spiders? I haven't played any of these, so let's try Arkham Asylum. We'll at least see if it's the right saga. Okay, so it is an adventure platform game. Skeleton Swimming Mercenary. It was on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. And it's a platform adventure game. online sequel with skeletons. God, this is a tricky one. She got no idea with this. What should we guess? Let's go for spider, fairy, bats. And mercenary. Is it going to be some platformer, PS3 and Xbox 360? I mean, Minecraft kind of fits, apart from sequel. It fits everything else, and maybe not fairy, mate. Although you do have those allies now that are kind of fairies. Maybe like a Zelda. Let's just go like Breath of the Wild. I don't think this is going to be right, but it was also on Wii U. Unlockables, wall jumps, and hidden rooms. What on earth is this? It was on all consoles. Wii U, 360, and PS3 and PC. Adventure platformer. With wall jumping. And bats, fairy, spider. This is going to be like a cartoony. Bats, fairy, spider, skeletons. I bet I haven't played this game, so I don't feel too bad about not knowing it. Let's go with... What's got wall jumping? Maybe like a Dead Cells? No. Oh, it was on PS4 as well and Xbox One. It's been around a long time then. So over 2 generations of consoles. Kid friendly. Daily content and real-time combat. What? Kid friendly. Daily content. With bats and spiders and fairies. I've got no idea with this. It's taking on average 6 guess attempts, so lots of people are struggling with this one apparently. Let's go with... It's something that's across all platforms, which is making it more complicated. Because most like platformer games tend to be exclusives. So what could this be? An adventure platformer that's on like every console. Oh god, this is tough. Let's just have a little look through. See if we get any kind of clues based on any inspiration from this list. Rayman. I could see that, but I don't know if that went on to... Did that go on to Xbox? What was that originally? That was PlayStation games, wasn't it? Let's try Legends. Oh, wow. Great guess, Imni. I never would have guessed that. PlayStation Vita. Google Stadia as well. Nice work. All right, so we've done artwork classic. It's just guess left, and then we'll get on to doing some web dev. So with guess, we just guess a random game. So why not? Let's start with Dome Keeper. Oh, it's not in there. There's only a certain number of games in the list, but basically we'll guess a game and then it'll give us a load of topics about a load of information about that game, and any information that matches with the game we're trying to guess will come up as yellow or green. It'll be easier once we've got an example down here. So let's start with Minecraft then. That's a nice easy one. Okay, so the game we're looking for is on one or more of these platforms, and it could be these and others. It's none of these themes, which is quite good. It's more recent than 2011. One or more of these is correct, and one or more of these is correct. And it could be a simulator or an adventure game with other genres on top. So, what do we want to go forward to? Let's go for like a Far Cry, maybe. I don't think Far Cry might be survival. Let's go Far Cry 5. Come nice and modern. Okay, we've got a shooter adventure, action, that's single player, multiplayer, or co-op. Third person by the looks of it, or VR maybe. And more recent than 2018. A shooter adventure, third person. Are we looking at a Fallout? Let's go 76. That was quite recent, wasn't it? Oh, not recent enough. Again, we know it's not open world and we know it's not survival, so it's sci-fi action we're looking for. Sci-fi action shooter. Third person. And more recent. Cyberpunk was first person, wasn't it? And something that's single player or multiplayer or co-op. What's the most recent Gears game? You think it was? You got an idea what this could be? A sci-fi action game that's third person and that's recent and that's a shooter. What's a modern shooter? This is where not playing modern games is really a downfall. Modern co-op shooter. Yeah, same. This is that's why it's quite challenging to do these. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Although, I think we would have a versus mode. Because COD, all the COD games are first person, aren't they? Are any Battlefield third person? When did PUBG come out? That's not sci-fi. That's no good. I don't know enough about the Battlefield games to know if one of them's sci-fi or one of them's... although Star Wars... Although maybe... That would come under fantasy, wouldn't it? This is tricky. The third person. Fortnite could work. I feel like Fortnite's older than 2018 though. That is, yeah, I can see sci-fi action. Let's give it a go. Ooh, it is an Unreal Engine game. Oh, it's down as survival. Is that survival sandbox, really? I thought on Fortnite you dropped in the same map every time. I wouldn't call that open world. But Unreal. An Unreal third-person shooter that is modern. Ugh. What could it be? Maybe a Last of Us? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Survival in the fact that you're trying to be the last person alive. It's not really like... I would normally say a survival is like crafting and stuff like that. Ooh, the forest is a good idea. Forest is... Yeah, that is first person actually, yeah. Would Last of Us count as... would count as survival, wouldn't it? And open world. That's not going to be Last of Us. We're going to get a clue soon. What are the shooters? Oh, what's the... Borderlands. What's the most recent one? I'm going to guess for 3, but I don't think that's recent enough. Doom, again, I think is first person. Okay, 2019. Oh, wait, Borderlands is first person? Oh yeah, of course it is. Okay, something from 2019 that's Unreal. Let's take the clue as well. Hopefully it's not going to give us something we already know. It was on Xbox One and Xbox Series S. So only Xbox game. So it's a Microsoft owned game. A shooter adventure. Halo's first person though, isn't it? I think Doom is first person. Oh, tough this. Unreal, third person shooter. Only on Xbox. Maybe like a Crysis? No, but that's first person shooter as well. Maybe it is a Gears of War. What's the most recent one though? Gears 5 or Gears of War Judgment? This is a problem with games not naming themselves in like order. It makes it harder to figure out. I'm gonna guess Gears 5. Yeah, there we go. That's not bad. I don't think I've seen anything about that. Does this take you to a trailer for it? Gears 5 is 2019. I used to play so much Gears when I was at uni. I wonder if it's basically still the same storyline. Kind of looks like it. Right, I think that was all of them. Let's double check. Yep, done the classic artwork guess and keywords. I'm not going to bother with their weekly or unlimited modes. They're all good. Cool, right. So, let's get on with some of the web dev stuff. So yeah, I was thinking for the next Ludden Dare, just because if I'm doing something that's 2D most of the time. And I've got experience of doing user interfaces and stuff like that for the websites. I feel like making a game as a website might actually work quite well. But we'll see. We'll see if I back off after that. Like when I start. Especially because Svelte makes animations quite nice. And the dev experience is pretty nice. We'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully, yeah. We'll have to see. If it's super easy to be able to play it, that'll be the goal. But I don't know how. It will put a lot more constraints on it because I have to make sure it's something that's easy to play, and not too like resource heavy for both the server and for the client, because I want it to run well on the phones and laptops and stuff like that, but I also don't want it to cost too much hosting it. Oh yeah, no worries. Good luck with the runs. Thanks for dropping in. See ya. Yeah. Good luck. Right. Let's have a little look. So what we're going to have a quick run through on was having a look at these lazy loading images. So we might run through that tutorial there. And what was the other? I feel like media is in here somewhere, isn't it? Transition classes, components, special effects. Is it in basics? No, it's forms. It should be in here, I think. Logic, events, bindings. I'm sure there's a media. There we go, advanced bindings. So I think I want more images, which we're not really fussed about these. No, okay. We're not going to bother with the standard tutorial. So I think what we can do, we're going to watch through this. I've had a quick look at this. I'm going to pause my music because I think we've got this
reason your website
picking up.
Slow.
That's fine.
Because your images load like this. It's painful to look at and just makes your website feel incredibly sluggish, even if everything else is blazing fast. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to make
sure we got the high quality.
Instead, as you can see, we got that really nice blurry background. It's going to be lazy loaded and everything is going to be super performant. Welcome back to Web Dev Simplified. My name's Kyle and my job is to simplify the web for you so you can start building your dream project sooner. And today
if we pop this to one side,
images as well as getting that blurry loading background that I showed you at the beginning. As you can see here, when I just refresh this page, it looks like everything is incredibly quick and responsive, and that's because my internet speed is incredibly quick and I'm downloading local images.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
I try to emulate what happens on a slower internet connection by coming over to my network tab, and I'll just do something like fast 3G, for example, and I'll just do a refresh on this page. You'll notice that the images load in incredibly slowly, as you can see, and when I scroll down to the bottom of the page, all I get is essentially a giant white box, which is obviously not ideal. Instead, I would like my images to have this nice little blurry background to them, which would look a lot better instead of slowly loading in one after the other. Now, if I go over to this other example, this is the final working example. As you can see, when my internet speed is fast, everything refreshes incredibly quickly and it looks quite good.
Let's copy this so we can put it in our
my network speed
description at some point as well.
Like fast 3G. When I refresh, you notice instead of getting a bunch of white boxes, instead I'm actually getting these like blurry background here for what the image could look like. And then as soon as the image is done downloading entirely, it's going to fade that image in over place of these different blurry backgrounds that you can see here. Now these images are very large. They're definitely not optimized. As you can see, these images are like a megabyte each, not at all optimized, but this is just kind of to show you what happens in the cases where you have these slower images. And as you can see, as they're starting to download, they're slowly fading in, which
so really what we want is the different sized images. So in our image folders, all of these images, we're going to have different dimensions to load based on different device sizes. So based on our client device dimensions, it will pick which image to load. And we want probably, like a lot of these are going to be the wrong sizes or at the moment. How do I find dimensions of this? We go to File Explorer. Does that have the dimensions in it? Yeah, so this is almost 3,000 pixels wide, 7 megabits, not massive. Oh no, don't want that. I always do that. This one.
it's really great. Now the actual process of implementing this, I'm actually going to break down into 2 separate steps because there's 2 things that we need to tackle here. The first is going to be how do we lose images for performance reasons, and the second is going
to go a little bit faster to start with.
Before I start with any of that, I do want to mention that I have a full blog article on this. As you can see, it covers everything I'm going to cover in this video in a written form. So if you want to check it out, I recommend checking it out.
That's this one. I'm going to put it in chat so I can have it later.
We'll just look at this example.
If anyone wants to follow along.
Tab. And what I want to do is I only want to select images. As you can see here, I've selected just images, and I have nothing at all showing up, no throttling, nothing like that. I'm just going to refresh my page. And you'll notice if I look, I've downloaded 16 things. So you see that 16 out of 18, that's saying I've downloaded 16 total images, which is how many images there are on my page. But you'll notice I'm only able to see like 4, maybe 6 images at a time on my page. I can't see all 16. So my page is downloading even the images all the way down here at the bottom, even though I can't actually see those images yet. So this is clearly not something that I want to do. So I want to talk about implementing lazy loading, which will only load the images that you can see. And then as you scroll down the page, it'll start to load more and more images. So let's just go back to the very top here. What I'm going to do is over in my source for my HTML, as you can see, we have a really simple just grid layout, pretty straightforward with some image tags. I want to go onto each one of my image tags, and all I want to do here is just type in loading and set that equal to lazy. By default, it's set to eager, which means it loads right away. If I just change this to lazy, it's just saying load this only when it's able to be viewed or about to be viewed. And if I just copy that and I paste that for every single one of my different images, so I can just come in here real quick, I'll just get a bunch of cursors onto each of those, paste that down, give it a quick save. Now my images are lazy loaded. If I do that same inspect trick, go over the network tab, I want to clear everything out so there's nothing at all showing up. I'm just going to refresh my page. And if I go full screen, you'll notice now we've only downloaded 10 of those 16 images. So what happened is it downloaded the 4 images at the front, and it downloaded the next 6 images that are going to be seen on the screen. And if I open that network tab back up real quick, you'll notice that as I scroll, it'll actually download more and more images. So we're at 10 images right now, and as I scroll, that number increases, and now you can see I scroll to the bottom, all 16 of my different images are being downloaded. So it's only downloading those images as soon as I get to the point of actually being able to view them, which is really great, and it saves you a lot, especially if you have a lot of images on your page. Now just doing this though isn't going to fix the
What size did we say this was? 7 meg. It's quite big image sizes, but that is the full scale image.
Background showing up and images loading slowly. If I go back here to throttling on fast 3G and I refresh my page, even though it's downloading less images because it only has to download the images at the top, you can still see I get that problem. I kind of get these white sections on my page. It just doesn't look very good overall in my opinion. And you can see I just have this giant blank section with no indication of what this is even supposed to be. And this is the ideal scenario where you want to do lazy loading for your images in a little bit more advanced of a way, because all this does is just delay loading images until they are viewable on the screen. What I want to do is I want to show a placeholder image that's super blurry and then load the image in the background and show it over top. That way we don't get a scenario where image is slowly loading from top to bottom. Like if I do a quick refresh again, you'll see this very first image, it just shows up top to bottom. So we just scroll to the very top here. Wait a second for it to actually show. You can see everything is just going top to bottom really slow. Obviously, that's not ideal and does not look very good. So the easiest way for us to fix this problem, we'll just get rid of throttling for now, is we need to wrap each one of our images inside of a div. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to wrap this very first one in a div just to show you what it looks like on this first one. I'm going to add a class here called blur load. You can call this class anything you want. This is just going to be the class that determines that you want to have that blurry image and it's wrapping your actual normal image. Then the really important thing here is I'm going to set a style, and this style is going to be a background image, and this background image I want to be a very, very, very small version of our image. So in our case, I actually have some images in my image folder. You can see I have a small version and a normal version, and I'll just show you exactly how I generated that version in a second. But this small version here is incredibly small. For example, if I just come in here and I change this URL to something that doesn't exist, and you can see that I have a bunch of these images being gridded across the page. That's how small my image is. It's only 20 pixels wide. That's how super, super small it is. But if I change my styles a little bit by selecting that blur load class, and I just come in here and I change that I want the background size here to be cover, that just means it's going to expand to fill the full space instead of repeating like this. You'll notice I automatically get a blurry image, which already looks great. And the thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that my background position is also going to be in the center.
Okay, so we'll probably set up an image
here, and this, instead of saying background, is going to say
component.
There we go. And I can also change this to be object fit to cover. And the real key here is whenever you're doing this blurry loading,
that will wrap any images we want like this.
They perfectly line up over top of each other, and when it fades in, it's going to look really smooth. So already just by doing that, you can see I get this really cool blurry version of my image. And if I were to have an actual image URL that was correct, you can see that the images kind of line up to each other fairly well. It's obviously not perfect because a 20 pixel image is super small, but if I do that for all my different images, it actually looks relatively close to what the image is without being a large resource for you to download. Because if I go ahead and I look at the actual image here, this small image is 267 bytes. That's incredibly small compared to the normal image, which is massive at 512 130 kilobytes. Obviously, it's not optimized, but you can see the difference in size just by looking at it. And when I zoom in, you can see it's just a super pixelated version of the image. You can even see the individual pixels because it's only 20 pixels wide. Now, the way that I generated those images is fairly straightforward. Essentially, I use FFmpeg, and if I scroll down here a little ways in this article, you'll actually see that I have the exact command written out here. So if you go to the article, I'll link in the description, you can copy the command if you want. But essentially, you just specify the input that you want, pass it in the name of the image, you pass in this flag of -VF, and that's just saying you want to modify the actual image itself. And we're changing the scale to be 20 pixels wide, and -1 means keep the same aspect ratio. And then this is the name of the output file that we want to create. Fairly straightforward. So if you want to use FFmpeg, you can. There's tons of other ways to downsize an image, though. You can do it online. There's online tools. You can open up something like Figma or Photoshop and just manually resize the image. FFmpeg is just a programmatical way to do it. And it's
I think we've got power tools that we might be able to use for this.
For example, you had a bunch of images on your site. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to copy this div down. I'm going to wrap every single image in its own div. I'm going to give them all their own background image based on the actual image that's showing up. So just give me 1 second to do that. There we go. I just changed all of these, and every single one has.
Actually, it might be worth doing FFmpeg. Let's get that. So what we want to do is take an image and shrink it, right? What was the code here? Lazy loading, this one. Let's just double check we're getting the right one here. So we download this. Do we download the source code? It'd be good to have this because then we can automate this, the generation of this CLI, not CLI. Well, it is CLI, isn't it? From our code. Okay. Where's scale in this? Force input or output file format? No. Not really video stuff that we're doing though. Input image name. What's the PF doing? PF for video. Oh, here we go. So input, deinterlace, scale, output. Okay, let's go with the source code then. Does that work? Oh, the nanoes are up here now, aren't they? It's really weird. Wait, is that? No? Okay. How do we install this? Maybe let's have a quick look. How to install FFmpeg. Is this recent? October last year. There, this is very recent. Let's do. Download the zip file, unzip, move it to the root of C drive, add it to the path. Oh, it's still this kind of stuff. Do we want to bother with that? Let me just have a quick look at my C drive and see. So I'm sure we did something similar with path programs. Here we go. Oh, we have it. So in our path, we've got FFmpeg and CWebP. So this will help us make WebP versions of our images. So let's just check if we've got this running then. Let's do a new terminal here. Okay, we have it there. It is available. Do we need to update? Probably not. Version 2000, well, November last year. I wonder if there's an update command. Disable, enable, update. Doesn't look like it, but is there? So what have we got? We've got the Guyan.dev build, this one. Is there a way to update? Tools. Latest build update maybe? How do we update it? Notes? Let's look at the GitHub. Is there a way to update here? No. Update FFmpeg. What's this site called? Guyan.dev. Nope. Is there a way to update it? Let's have a little look in here. I think it'll be good enough for the moment. So let's have a little look. We've got this image, which are hero full. So if we navigate to our static images hero folder, and we run this command, it's going to be slightly different. We're going to want to change it to let's call this small PNG, or what are we going to call this? We're going to call this let's just call this lazy.png, because this is only going to be used for that. And we're going to run it on full.png, and I think rather than 20 pixels, let's do 40. And let's see. So yeah, we've got this tiny image now that we want to load in place of the full. So when we're on our home page here, don't want to keep zooming in on that. Let's close this. Let's close this, and we're going to be looking at our image. We're just going to start with the home page one. So that is this one, which loads our hero, and that's our image here. So really, we're going to have a utility component, which is going to be image dot svelte, and we're going to have our script tag lang equals TypeScript, and this is going to be export let name. And there's probably going to be other export options here, but we're going to come back to that. And then we want to do this kind of setup that we were being shown by Web Dev Simplified. So we want to do a div surrounding our image. And our div is going to have a background image that is going to be our link. So we're going to have a div surrounding our image tag. And then in our styles, style tag, we're going to target our div. And we're probably going to target our image as well. But our source is going to be images. /name. Like that. I think. Let name be a string. And we're probably going to do another data page. Depending on what we're going to need here. No, actually, we won't, I don't think. Maybe to look up the alts. But we're going to just do that manually for the moment. So and then because it's just alt, we can just do this. We'll do the shorthand of it. And then how were we doing it before with... We can do a CSS variable, can't we? So we can do something like let... Wait, how did we do CSS variables? Classes and styles, is it? Component styles. I think this is it. Yeah, so we are setting this variable name So wait, the CSS variable. Oh, we don't want to use global. Are we using global here? No. Yeah, there's not to do that. Custom CSS property, here we go. Boxes. Can set the value of color. Feature works by wrapping each component in a style display contents. Okay. Yeah, so this is what we want to do. But for our background image URL. So we don't need a let at all. We need to do a div here of background image URL. And what are we doing? Just the link to our image URL, which is going to be let's just do var here. And this is going to be like this. And that's a fallback, isn't it? I don't think we... Do we need a fallback in this one? I don't think so. Let's do... var image URL. Something like that? Doesn't like that. Okay, what about if we do that? That it's okay with. So then when we call this, we're not doing this one, we're doing on our home page, which is here, but we're doing in hero. So let's say we import, so we have a script tag here, lang equals TypeScript, and we're going to import image. Why is it not auto-completing? There we go. And then this div here, we're going to do image. Image. And then we're going to say image dash URL equals images slash hero slash what do we call this? Blur. Lazy.png. And then we're going to close it out like that. Okay, it needs name and alt as well. So let's do this on new lines, just to keep it clear. So name equals hero, and alt equals this here. Right now it should not be complaining at me anymore. Let's save that. That seems to have worked. So now if we look at this, be able to load images hero. Yes, it won't be able to load that. Name slash full.png start with. Okay. So that's our image again. If we comment that out, do we still get our background image? We don't just yet. So we are still building this up. I mean, we want loading equals lazy on this as well. That's fine to add in. So we're getting there with this format.
Right. Small image that's showing up in place of the large image. Now you may think this is enough to already get most of what we want, but it's not quite that easy. If I go back and I throttle my network speed again to see what this looks like, you'll notice that the blurry images show up right away, which is great. But as the normal images load in, you see they load from top to bottom, which obviously doesn't look super good. It's obviously not. Right,
let's see if that's working to start with. So we want to go to unspec here. Where's our unspec window? We want to go to network and we want to enable throttling. So let's do slow 3G. We're going to clear all this. We're going to go to our image tags and we're going to refresh. So that's not done anything yet. Don't know what all these different loading things are.
not what we want. So instead, we need to hide the image until it's entirely fully downloaded, and then we can show the image. And to do that, we're going to write a little bit of JavaScript. I'm just going to put that at the very end of my body, just so that we can get every single thing inside of one HTML page here, just so it's easier for you to follow. Now, what I want to do is I want to select all of the different blur divs that we have. So I can just say document.querySelector. I want to get all of them with that class of blur div. So whatever class you give the element, just make sure you select based on that class. That's what I'm doing right here.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
So we can say blur divs.forEach. And essentially, I want to set up an event listener on my image for when it is loaded. That way I can make sure I show it properly. So we're going to loop through each one of these divs just like this. And I want to get the image. And the image here is just query selecting the image inside of here. So I can do query selector for image inside of that div, just like that. Now we have access to my image. So I'm going to create a function called loaded. And this is going to be called when my image finishes loading. And we'll do whatever we want inside of here. For example, show image. There we go. And then I'm just going to have a really simple if check here. I'm going to check for the complete variable. If this is true, it means the image is already downloaded. So if the image is downloaded, it's like super fast to download and it downloads before the script tag runs. Well, I just want to call this loaded function right here. That means the image is already downloading. We don't have to do anything else. Otherwise, I want to add an event listener to my image. So we're going to add an event listener here on load. And I'm going to call the loaded function. And this just means as soon as my image is done loading, it's going to call this function. So it's going to call the function either right away if the image already loaded. Otherwise, it's going to call the function as soon as the image loads. So once my image is done downloading, we're calling a function that allows us to show the image. Now to handle the showing and hiding of the image, I'm going to be using a class for that. So we're just going to come in here. I'm going to say div.classlist.add. I'm going to add the loaded class to it. And then I'm going to use that in my CSS to actually determine how I hide or show different things. So if we come all the way up here, we'll just minimize that into our CSS. We can have some code like this. So we can say blur load.
Right, we need to add in this stuff, don't we, to start with? Because we haven't actually got any styles that show these images before they're loaded. So our div is the surrounding. Which is going to be the background size of cover and the background position of center. Yep. And our image width 100%. Aspect ratio 1/1. Going to do display block for now. Let's just test if this works. Object position of center and object fit of cover. Right, how's that looking? Okay. Not great. Why? Because the aspect ratio isn't 1/1, is it? Specified file name lazy.png does not contain image sequence or pattern is valid. Oh, sorry, that's the old. No, that's the FFmpeg stuff. Oh, it's telling me to use const instead of let. That's fine. We'll do that in a minute. Actually, let's do that now. Oh no, when it's unused. That's fine like that now. That's fine. Okay. Right. So don't know why it's still moving around a bit. Oh, is that loading the fonts in maybe? Yeah, it looks like it is. Which we probably don't want all that shifting. But to be fair, this is slow 3G throttling. That's very slow loading. Yeah, they use a fallback font while loading the actual font. That's fine. As long as we block out the space better, which we will do with this when we've got it up and running properly. Let's continue and see what Carl's got to say.
And then any styles in here are going to apply as soon as our image is downloaded. So what we can do is we can take all of the images inside of our blur load just by doing this. And what I want to do is I want to hide them by default. So we'll just say display none. But instead of doing that, since I want to do like a fade animation, instead I'm going to set the opacity to 0. And what that's going to do is allow me to fade my image in once it's loaded. So I can take this selector right here, and I can say that my image is going to come in with an opacity of 1 when it is loaded. And then we can just do a simple transition. We'll say like 200 milliseconds ease in and out. And we want to do this on the opacity property. And what that's going to do is it's going to be a 200 millisecond fade in as soon as my image is done loading, which is going to look really good. Now it looks like something's not working because obviously we're not getting our loaded images shown up. So I'm guessing some of our JavaScript is wrong. If I look here, it looks like I forgot to include the else here. There we go. So now if I add that in, give my page a refresh, it's still not working. And that's because again, this should probably say blur load instead of blur div. Now if I save, you'll notice everything's working and it gave me that fade animation. But the key here is if I throttle my network speed down here to a fast 3G and I refresh, you'll notice it doesn't give me that top down version of the loading of the images. It's going to wait until the entire image is downloaded, which in our case is pretty slow because these images are quite large. But as soon as the image is fully downloaded, then it's going to fade that image in. As you can see, these background images for the blurry stuff, they actually look rather good for how small they are, only being 20 pixels wide. They relatively look kind of like what we want them to, which is great. And you can play around with that size by making them bigger or smaller if you want more or less detail. But it's a really easy way to get this automatic blur. And as you can see, we're getting everything fade in, which looks really, really good. Let's disable that throttling because there's a few extra things that I want to do to this loading animation to make it look a little bit better. For now, I'm just going to
So we're going to have to rewrite this as Svelte
code that adds that loaded class.
based.
And it's just going to give us the blurry version by default here. Now what I want to do is I want to make it obvious to the user that the image is currently downloading. And generally the way that we like to do this is like with a skeleton animation where we kind of have like a pulsing animation where things are getting brighter and darker and brighter and darker. And there's a really easy way for us to do that inside here. Again, you can do whatever animation you want, but I think this one looks pretty good. So what we can do is we can select our blur load here. So we'll just say blur load. And I want to actually get the before element. I'm just going to place essentially a white rectangle over top of everything. So we can say our content here is going to be blank. We can position this absolutely. So we'll say position absolute. Our inset is going to be 0. That just means it's going to touch the top, left, right, and bottom. All of those are going to be 0. And our blur load here, we're going to set as a position relative. That way we're absolutely positioned inside of it. Finally, I'm just going to set a background color. For now, I'm just going to set it to white. And if we save, you notice we get a bunch of white rectangles, which is great. But instead, I want this to instead be an RGBA value because I want it to be partially transparent. So we're going to do white, and let's just make it like 10% opacity. So now you can see we kind of have this like slight white rectangle over top of everything. And what I want to do is I just want to increase and decrease the opacity of this to kind of give it a pulsing animation. So let's give it an animation. We'll call it pulse, and then let's just say that we want it to last 2.5 seconds. We don't want it to be super fast, and we'll make it an infinite animation. So now I can come down here with my keyframes. This is for pulse, and at 0%, I just want my background color to be a specific background color. In my case, I'm going to set it to 0 here. Then what I'm going to do at 50%, oops, 50%. Is I'm going to set my background here, 2.1, and I'm going to do the exact same thing at 100%, but I'm going to change it back down to 0 again, just like this. So now if we give that a save, you can see that it's pulsing in and out. It's kind of giving us that animated look where it's just giving that little bit of a pulse. It's rather small and not super
that's
great,
cool.
but I think it looks really good, and it kind of gives the appearance that things are downloading. And again, you can change this around by maybe making it more white, so it kind of has a more intense animation. You can speed it up, slow it down, whatever you want. And we can also remove this background color here because it's taking care of inner animation for us, and that looks really, really good.
Right, so this is on the div containing, but we haven't got this all working yet. So let's
this example, I'm gonna do a quick
double check.
I'm gonna go to the network tab. And what I want to do is I only want to select images. As you can see here, I've selected just images. To see like 4, maybe 6 images at a time on my page. I can't see it as you scroll down the page eager, which means it loads right away. If I just change this to lazy,
so we've got the lazy loading. That's fine.
Images that are going to be seen on the screen. And if I open that network tab back up real quick, you'll notice that as I scroll, if you have a lot of images on your page. Now, just doing this though isn't going to fix the problem of that white in a little bit more advanced of a way, because all this does is just delay loading images until they are viewed. Refresh again, you'll see this very first image. It just shows up top to bottom if we just scroll.
So really, we want some more images on the page to be able to see what's happening, especially with the lazy loading stuff. So our image here, loading lazy, that's fine. So in our contact here, instead of this, we want to copy what we're doing here. Actually, let's do all of that. We can also generate that, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think we need to pass this in at all, do we? If we say... Wait, how do we set a CSS variable? I want to see how to do this in Svelte. No, not like that. Classes, class directive. No. Style directive, maybe. So we're passing in like this. Can we set this variable in the script of here? Like, purple maybe? What am I doing wrong? That should work, shouldn't it? Wait, what if we do something like this? Export that. Unexpected token. Can we do it here? No. Why is it having a problem here? No, okay, so it allows stuff like that. Right, I'm going to do a little break because it's not quite working just yet for me. Need to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. And I'm going to get coffee and fill up my water. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes. Let's do screen break, back soon. And put the timer on. Alright, back in a sec. rotate it back. Let's see if I can make some sense of this now. Let's get rid of that, and that. Okay, that's good. Right, I was trying to look back at how I've done this previously. So look at this. There's a previous picture component that we put together. And ignore these errors because there's some issue with that. Don't know why that's happening. But we were saying have these pulled in. And we were setting a CSS var styles, which we then set as our style. Which might be what we're looking to do here. So rather than having this here, we could do something like style background image, and actually we need this in backticks, I think. So let us do that. No. Do we do it like this? So if this image URL, how did we build it up here? Images, contact, lazy, this thing. So set it to images, and then this should be the name. .lazy png, and then we get rid of this, and let's for the moment take this out. Let's just check if this works. So when we load, no, because this div has no size, right? Is it there though? Let's have a look. What are we getting here? Confused myself as to what we're actually getting on this page. So in our hero, we don't really care about this line. We're not going to be able to do that. Let's just take it out for the moment. Let's get rid of this image. So name hero comes in. So this div should have a style applied to it, right? Is the div there to start with? This div. Why is the style not applied? Just contact full is not found. Let's just give it a height, just so we actually see it. Then VH will do. Oh, because it needs URL brackets this, right? No? Oh, yeah, there we go. Right, if we got rid of this 10 VH, will that affect it? Doesn't show it at all. Can we give a start to the image component? No, it doesn't look like it. I think we could probably shrink that down a lot more as well. So what do we want to do here? I feel like we're getting somewhere, but not quite. We call this image. This div should cover the whole size it can, right? Which was that what we were looking at here? So where was it? Position absolute inset 0. Its width 100% is probably needed, but we don't have it on there at the moment. No, this is the old one. Let's minimize that for the moment. So we want this to be, I suppose here we want this to be width of 100%. Will that put the image in? This won't force the image in, will it? Because the actual size of this container I think I need better understanding of how the images work. So that's not div. Let's see if there's any image. Nothing in there. Okay. Just searching our docs for image. Yeah, we have it in like the first lesson, don't we? Yeah, here. So how do we get the image, how do we get the picture to fill the space it needs? It's because this is a background image, isn't it? God, I feel like this is basic stuff, but my mind's just blank about it. Background. No. Background what? Image, origin, position, size. We've got background size cover here. Auto doesn't bring it in. Because it's a background image, it's the size of, it's the style. Yeah, it sets the size of the div, right? And if there's no content in it, then there's no height to it. So how do I set it based on the height of the image? This is 40 by 22. If I set an aspect ratio on it of 40 over 22, I know I can make that better. That does work. So 20 over 11 is the best I can do, right? Because 11's prime. And then if we bring this in, that kind of looks all right. We're starting to get there. Oh, we haven't made a contact lazy yet. It's fine. Oh, because it's a JPEG rather than a... Okay. So really, in our data, we want a new one, which is images.ts. And this is just going to be similar to our solutions page. Just something like this. And it's just going to have all of the data we need for each of our images. Let's get rid of that. So where we got in our solutions card, no, have we got it on our solutions page? Yeah, here we go. So we want to find in the images So here, we're gonna have to import our images. Yeah, that autocomplete was correct. From images, yep. And then let image data equal images dot filter dot find. How does dot find work? I think I can do dot filter. We're going to pass in the name. Name equals name. That's not going to work, is it? And then just output it there. So this is going to be hero, isn't it? Let's see if we output this title and content. Object, okay. Maybe. Image dot title. No. It's gonna be something like this. And also this aspect ratio is going to be different for each one, isn't it? So yeah, we're going to need name, we're going to need alt, we're going to need an aspect ratio, which is 20/11 for this one, and a comma. What's our alt? Our alt is this. Why is it not like this? Left-hand side of an arithmetic operation must be of type any number, big int, or enum type. This is a string though, it's not an actual equation. So if I do that, it should be alright. No? Or if I just do single quotes? Aspect ratio is like this. Okay, it doesn't like the dash here. Content we don't need at the moment. Let's get rid of that. Let's just copy this out as our next one. This is going to be contact. Plant growing inside a light bulb. Okay. So image.filter. Let's see how this works. array dot filter dot filter JS examples. Where word dot length is greater than 6. Okay. Is big enough. We pass in a value and return if the value is greater than 10. So we want it to return true. So this issue calling it name equals name. Let's maybe call this like image name. See if that works better. Image. And we're going to say image.image name. And then we'll do image data dot. Where's our values? None of that stuff. Let's just do image data dot alt. Does that work? No, it doesn't like that. Alt does not exist on type alt. Doesn't it? I can see the alt property on that. Why does that not exist? Image data 0 dot alt? Ah, okay. Undefined. That's not what we want to see. No, it is what we want to see. That is the right alt. But if we did 1, so it exists? Is it undefined? It breaks, right? Cannot read properties of undefined. Yes, that's correct. But why are we doing it like this then? Can we destructure it? We can't destructure it. Can we say image name? Or like we do props? Actually, let's call this image data like this. I feel like we're really close here. We're going to our data, and for each image in the images array, we return true if the image.name is equal to our name here, right? Do we need a question mark here? What would we do a console log here? Of image data. No, it doesn't like that. If we get rid of this line for the moment. No, wait, it's got loads of images. Here we go. No. What's happening here? We've done something wrong here. Right. So our filtered array is not what we want. Dot find. Fill filter find flat. Index of. Includes. Not quite what we want. Probably find, isn't it? Includes would be right as well. No, includes wouldn't be right. Let's see if we do find. Find. Let's see, what do we get output here? Still getting server error? No. That looks good. Might want to turn off the throttling for a minute. Okay, that's looking better. So now, if I could destructure here, what do we want? We want image name, alt, and aspect ratio, right? Why does it not like that? Do I have to double destructure it? That doesn't seem right. It is there. Oh, this feels so close now. So I'm finding an object. ES6 destructure object. Array.find. Try to do a map on first array. I have to figure out and modify the keys. And then insert those destructured arguments during your map. Yeah, look, this is what I'm doing, right? First name, last name, and ID. Members.find. ID, first name, last name, email. I feel like I'm basically doing that. Image.find, image.name equals name. Aspect ratio. Is it just because I'm not using them? No. Let's turn it off on here. This isn't right at the moment. Seems to be all right. Is this just TypeScript messing up? Let's say we set it as a string. Do we need to declare these first? Let image name string, and then if I do get rid of that, let alt string, helps so I can spell. Oh my god. And then aspect ratio. It's not to do with that, is it? Unexpected equals. No, it's not that. So this returns an object. And the object has this image name, alt, and aspect ratio. Like our hero doesn't have. So it is working. Well, let's get rid of this one again. And if we inspect this, it's got the aspect ratio there, it's got the alt tag. Wait, where's the alt? Oh no, the alt goes in the image, doesn't it? So it is working. But why is it complaining? It's complaining because it's TypeScript, right? So what if I do let image equals this, and then do something like let image name equal image name. It's fine with this stuff, right? Alt equal that, and aspect ratio equal that. So is it because, okay, it's because find can come back as undefined. So what would we do, or empty object? Let default image data image name not found, and then alt and then aspect ratio, let's say 1:1. So now can I destructure it? We get rid of these. Right, it's because it can find can return undefined. That's why I didn't like it. Okay. Right, we're getting very close now. Why have we still got an error here? What's the error? Oh, because we don't have an alt now. That's fine, the alt gets looked up. Instead, this isn't used. So now when we load it, oh, we're not going to see it. We need to throttle this, clear this, and reload it. So yeah, we get our blurred image, and then it drops in the proper one when it's complete. Okay, so the other bits we'll need here is stuff like file type, so our hero is PNG, whereas contact is a JPEG. The thing is, I don't want to have to write all this out. really. We go here, we're going up a level. We're going into contact. And then we're running this. JPEG to lazy JPEG. Oh, did that work? That looks like it worked. So now we save and we go to our contact form again, and we uncomment this. We get rid of this one and we get rid of these two things here, and then we reload the page. That's working, and then when it loads in, it loads the actual image. Okay, I think that looks right. I don't like having to do this. But I guess we can't do, we could just do this instead. Let's comment this line out. Wait, does it work with an empty array? But then it will fail. We kind of need a thing here, which is just like image name, missing, alt missing image, which is just this anyway. Then we don't need this thing. I think that's better. And actually in here, we should just do it here, right? So instead of this, we'll add in a new one at the top, which is just missing. Image not found. And we'll have some default image that defaults to. And then here, instead, we say or. No, images. Zero. Which would default to this one. I almost want to do another find, but I want it to be something that returns always. Right, I think we're going to save there. We're getting somewhere with this, but we're not quite correct, I don't think. I mean, the next thing we're going to do is add in the picture and the SRC and all that kind of stuff in here as well. So this might get quite complex. But this basically will have to handle figuring out how big the image is and which image to load. Okay, I think I might call it there. Mainly because I've got other stuff to sort today. I'm not quite Not quite in the zone, I don't think. I think we made some decent progress with this. But I need to go away and have a think about this properly, I think. I do like this. That we can just say, here's the image name. And now it'll do the lazy loading. That's only if we've got really slow connection. If we do like just fast 3G, I think it'll load fairly quickly here. So we'll clear that out and reload it. And it does that. And if we do no throttling, it should immediately load. Yep. There's a few little bits there that I'm not too happy about, that it takes a little while to load, but we will correct that. Cool, and then let's get rid of that. So that will be fixed by adding in our picture element around this image. So it's going to be like picture, and then the image will be the last thing in here. And we'll have like src source set tags in the picture, won't we? I think. No, I need to follow a guide for that. Can't remember quite how it's done. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna close that one out. We're gonna close our server. And we're doing do it and hold it. Commit initial image component work in progress. Cool. Right, only a short stream today, but we will be back tomorrow, probably roughly the same time, bit in the afternoon, and we'll continue on with this, and I'll try and get my thoughts in order before next stream. Cheers everyone who's been hanging out and lurking. Hope it's been interesting. I will add links in the YouTube description for these tutorials, this web dev simplified, and I think that was basically it today, wasn't it? We didn't really even get onto this one, but we will do at some point. I'll save that for tomorrow. Yeah, let's wrap it up there. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you tomorrow. If I can figure out where my holding screen is as well. Not that one. Text this one. Turn off the countdown timer. Cool. Thanks a lot. Catch you next time. Bye.